Dear brothers and sisters, good evening. Thank you all for coming to Lumina College and attend our graduation celebration. I'm the host tonight, Sally Ho. This year, thank you God, we have 9 graduates from different programs. The aim of Lumina College is to cultivate leaders with Christian worldview. We have a short video to show the content and curriculum of different programs. Let's watch the video first.
Thank you, Sally. Allow me to thank my staff first. The beautiful video was done by Sally. And she is a librarian, so you can tell from the story of the pictures that our graduates are made up of books, right? All the books that they have gone through during the courses. She inspires those books. And then we have Patrick handling the technology, and we'll be streaming. And there will be a number of overseas participants in Toronto and other places to join us today. And of course, we have Howard, have this gorgeous cameras, 1.2 f-stops, very expensive ones. And we have Joyce, the head of administration, doing the hosting, hospitality, and registration. Thank you. And welcome and thank you so much for joining the Lumina annual graduation ceremony. We are indeed very grateful. And congratulations to all the graduates. What a relief after long journeys of hard work. And we thank the families, church, and friends for supporting them in their very long journey. Very important, big day. And we are grateful to have Professor Arthur Mack, our board member, to be the commencement speaker. He is pioneering the Hong Kong biotechnology development, and he studied theology at Westminster, and is a very good friend many years ago. And he and his wife is here, and they have been very much involved in the Breakthrough's handicap ministry. Handicap ministry, very important. Now, Sally asked me to say a few words. Today we are living in a pivotal time, and we need special kind, different new breed of leadership to usher us into the new century. And what kind of leadership the Lumina is aiming to cultivate? 3 characteristics. 1, beyond personal faith to the public square. Now, personal faith is very important. Before supper today, I received a message at 5 o'clock that one of my long-standing friends is in the border of life and death, because of Parkinson. So I pop into Rottenji Hospital and visit him with my wife and then return here. So personal faith is very important. But Lumina want to go beyond that, from personal faith to the public square. You have AI, education, technology, economics, and politics. Everything is changing. So we need to see the underlying principles and the deep structure of things before they, all of control. And second feature is from the, we call it marketplace theology, in the presence of the kingdom. We need the sovereignty of God in all areas, not just marketplace, how to behave in the marketplace, be authentic, be trustful, but we have to tackle systems and principalities. That is what presence of the kingdom, that the Great Commission, right, in Matthew 28, go ye into all the world to make disciples of what? All nations, not just individuals and communities, right? And finally, beyond church ministries to culture making. Church ministries are important. I was in Breakthrough Youth Ministry. But then we need to make culture. We need to integrate the values of Christ into Chinese culture, Western culture, and the culture of developing nations. What are the roots? And we seek renewal through the lens of Christ. So these are the kinds of leadership that Lumina is trying to cultivate. Beyond personal faith to the public square, beyond marketplace to the presence of the kingdom, beyond church ministry to culture making. And like Sally said, we are delighted to have 9 graduates, 2 from Calvin University, our partnership school, very cold weather, and 1 from Master of Contemporary Leadership this year, and 6 from certificate, the first batch, right? Creating the future. So we are very delighted. And thank you for joining us. May God be glorified. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Le. We happily have another speaker to have a commencement speech. That's Dr. Arthur Mack. Dr. Mack is one of our board governor, and he got his PhD degree in the United States Northwestern University, and he also got theological master at Westminster Theological Seminary. He previously worked as associate vice president at the Hong Kong Baptist University, and he was the chair professor of rehabilitation engineering. He is also the honorary life member of International Federation of Medical and Biological Engineering. He's also the fellow of American Institute for Medical and Biological Engineering. Dr. Matt's today's topic is about AI, its leadership values in the age of AI.
Good evening. Thank you, Sally, for the very kind introduction. Graduates, President Wing Tai, colleagues, and friends. Let me first congratulate our graduates on this very special occasion. In the next 20 minutes, I plan to share with you my thoughts in these four areas. The characteristics of the age of AI, the leadership values in the age of AI. I would particularly want to highlight the importance of reflective leadership. At the end, I would wrap up with some of my personal reflections. In preparing this talk, I have consulted GPT, Gemini, as well as DeepSeek. Having said that, I am personally responsible for all the points I'm going to make here. Before I go further, let me point out there are leadership values for all ages, not only for the AI age, but for all ages. These are important character values for all people, actually, including, of course, leaders, because we expect them to lead by examples, inside out. The first characteristics of the age of AI, I would put down as accelerating changes with rapid innovation cycles. Changes will come fast and frequently. Many have said already that the speed of changes is too fast to cope. Even Sam Altman was saying that yesterday. Too fast for him even to cope with. Second, pervasive automation with ubiquitous data-driven decision-making. Automation is everywhere, in the workplace as well as at home. AI agents can do many things for you automatically. They plan your weeks, draft your messages, file your taxes, arrange your vacation, and monitor your health. In short, AI is going to run your life. You may have questions about privacy, but the convenience is so tempting that many of you would willingly grant them the benefits of your doubt. Third, personalization for everyone, enabled, of course, by surrendering your personal data. In the age of AI, we no longer need to argue whether AI can or cannot displace humans in the workplace. Human and AI collaboration will be readily facilitated through intuitive communication interfaces. You will be reminded constantly that you need to hybridize yourself with the latest version of your AI companion to stay omniscient and competitive. All my AI tools, GPT, Gemini, and DeepSeek, identified ethical challenges as a major characteristic of the age of AI. AI bias, compromise of data privacy, erosion of human autonomy, etc., are familiar examples to many of us. Recently, comprehensive AI models, monstrous consumptions of energy and natural resources has become a growing concern. Can our planet Earth afford the super intelligent AI models that our big tech companies want? Judgments are needed now, if not yesterday. Yet, without much careful understanding or deliberations, countries with the big tech companies are speeding forward being left behind in the global AI race. What leadership values are particularly important in the age of AI? Data and AI literacy, of course, but certainly not sufficient. We need much more. Adaptability and agility, of course, but instead of passive responses to hype competitions, our industry needs more thoughtful, responsible leadership. But what incentives are needed to encourage thoughtful, responsible leadership? Should companies be held liable for causing disastrous social disruptions? Our leaders need to ask not only whether the new AI technologies are pro-human or not, they also need to ask who are the humans the new technology is meant to flourish. Should we innovate technology for the good of the people in the company as well as for the good of the company? Should we innovate to drive the profits of a company at the expense of the well-being of the society? Why should human societies want to embrace technologies that are dehumanizing? If our societal capacity to discern and respond cannot keep up with the pace of innovation, what should leaders do? Should leaders simply lift their shoulders and say, the technology is out of control, nothing much we can do? Ethical leadership is responsible leadership. Leaders should be prudent against blind optimism about technology. That is, technology in the future will be able to solve all the problems that technology today creates. Is it too much of a kind of a optimism? Strategic vision is an important leadership value for all ages, but especially important in the age of AI. In a fast accelerating vehicle, the driver not only needs to look ahead to clear the obstacles in front, the driver also needs to look much further ahead to steer the vehicle towards the intended destination. We do not need short-sighted leaders with tunnel interest for only short-term gains. What is reflective leadership? Reflective leadership is a mindful, self-aware approach where leaders critically examine their decisions, biases, and impacts, especially in the complex, rapidly changing environments in the age of AI. Leaders should understand the reliability of their algorithms' outputs and the associated liability. AI should not be taken as authority or gold standard without questions. It was concerned that AI might become revealed with godlike status of knowledge and insight. If so, we will less likely question it, which is exactly what we need to do. Most people would say technology generally improves life. Some may probe deeper by asking how and for whom, who benefit from and who gets shortchanged by a new technology. Is the market alone enough to look after the wider and longer-term interests of the society as a whole? In 2017, the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, IEEE, published its global initiatives on ethics of autonomous and intelligent systems, highlighting the need to establish guidelines for such systems to remain human-centric, serving humanity's values and ethical principles. These systems have to behave in a way that is beneficial to people beyond reaching functional goals and addressing technical problems. IEEE also saw the need to expand the outcome measures for technological innovation. Common metrics of success like profit, GDP, consumption level, etc. are meaningful, of course, but they fail to encompass the full spectrum of well-being for individual stakeholders, the environment, and the society as a whole. Psychological, social, economic fairness, and environmental factors also matter. Well-being metrics should include such factors, allowing the benefits of arising from technological innovation to be more comprehensively evaluated. How may living with AI shape the future of being human? Our brain health, the neuroscientists told us, requires interactions with other humans, both physically and mentally. How would the growth of a child be affected by replacing human parents by robots? While AI can learn to become more human-like through interaction with humans, could we become more robot-like through interaction with AI robots? Would this strengthen a reductive delusion of ourselves that humans are mere biological robots? These humans could treat each other like robots. So are we not mere, or are we not more than tools? Here come my personal reflections. What is progress anyway? Progress means moving forward. But which direction is forward? Progress generally refers to the forward movement towards a goal over time. So progress is goal dependent. But what is our goal? Some say progress is value dependent. But what are our values? Robert Oppenheimer, who led the Manhattan Project that made the first atomic bomb, was dropped on Japan in 1945. He said, technology happens because it is possible. Some take it to mean technology, good or bad, is inevitable. I doubt Oppenheimer necessarily meant anything possible will inevitably happen. Rather, because it is possible, someone like Oppenheimer can make it happen. To me, technology development is shapeable. We are responsible for the technologies we develop. We have the mandate to steer technology development responsibly as part of our creation mandate in Genesis 1. What or who are driving the direction of today's AI developments? Human being apparently is the driver, right? A few of them. You saw them almost every day on the news now. Thus we should take responsible roles to shape the directions of AI development. Next question, what are driving us? We are driving the AI development, but what are driving us in our pursuit of AI development? Do we understand our human nature enough to know how we may fall short of being a responsible, effective leader in the age of AI? Let's go back to Genesis 3 to remind ourselves how we have failed our creation mandate from the very beginning. We want to be like God, but without God. We want to define what is good and what is evil, independent of God. AI emulates human knowledge based on all human knowledge available on the internet. Hence, it is not surprising that AI reflects human biases, self-centeredness, cheating, and other human vices as well. Despite AI's great usefulness in so many ways, I would say no AI now and in the future can solve the fundamental problem of our rebellion against God. There are no ways to access the tree of life for genuine human flourishing except through Christ. By our returning to God, repenting our rebellion, receiving His grace to become His children in union with Christ. What are the major leadership roles in the age of AI? In the biblical days, kings, prophets, and priests are the God-ordained leaders of their time. The roles of a king are primarily strategic. We need kings to set goals, manage resources, exercise God accountable oversight to ensure societal well-being. The roles of a prophet are primarily visionary. We need prophets to discern the ethics of different AI applications to inspire God-honoring uses of AI. The roles of a priest are primarily pastoral. We need priests to nurture a God-centered community in a dehumanizing technology environment, fostering human resilience and flourishing. May I ask our graduates, are you ready to serve any of these roles in the age of AI? Become my last slide. What may Christ say to the age of AI? I ask this question to my AI models. Gemini suggests Christ would likely urge us to ensure that in our quest for AI, we do not lose sight of what makes us truly human. Profound, right? DeepSeek suggests Christ may want to remind us that the ultimate measure of advancement lies not in what we create, but how we love. Profound, right? GPT suggests Christ may say, you have created great power, but do not forget the greatest commandment, that is, love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Profound, right? let me end by asking you all the last question this evening, my last question this evening. What have you learned from Christ for the age of AI? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mac. We have a gift to Dr. Mac. Dr. Leung, please come out to present the gift to Dr. Mac. Thank you very much. Now it's time for conferment of diploma. First of all, we will confer the diploma of Master of Education. This is the program that Lumina College cooperate with Calvin University in the United States. The vision of Calvin University is to help students to think deeply, to act justly, and to live wholeheartedly as Christians in the world. Dr. Albert Borma from Calvin University would like to give blessings to our students. Let's watch the video first.
Hello, I'm Albert Borma from Calvin University. We wish to offer our warm. Hello, I'm Albert Borma from Calvin University. We wish to offer our warm congratulations to Peggy and Irene as you both complete your graduate studies in educational leadership through our partnership with Lumina College. I was delighted to get to know both of you through the numerous Zoom conversations we had while you were taking your courses. Even though we are separated by distance and many time zones, please know that your work, persistence, and growth matter deeply to us. You've reached this milestone not simply by completing a checklist, but by engaging in the difficult, sustained work of thinking more deeply about education, leadership, and the calling to serve others in uncertain times. And we are unmistakably in uncertain times. In the United States, deep-seated divisions have a profound impact on our public life and schools. You in Hong Kong have faced your own upheavals, social, political, and cultural, that require courage, adaptability, and wisdom to navigate. None of us can lead well in today's world if we're relying on old formulas or surface-level strategies. These conditions make your achievement all the more meaningful. Graduate study, at its best, isn't just about gaining new techniques or checking off a professional credential. It's about learning to think more deeply, digging into the roots of your work. As educational leaders, you've been invited into the kind of learning that asks not just how to do things, but why. What are the purposes of education? What kind of people and communities are we trying to form? And how can leadership reflect not only effectiveness, but justice, compassion, and wisdom? The world is full of leaders who chase results but lack a solid foundation. As you leave this program, I hope you will lead differently, a way shaped by what you've studied, but even more by who you are becoming. I hope you carry with you a desire not to control uncertain times, but to be faithful within them. One of my favorite lines from the Old Testament scholar Walter Brueggemann reminds us that the peace or shalom we long for cannot be managed or engineered. It comes, he writes, only through the costly way of caring. That's a vision for leadership worth holding on to. So as you step into new roles or deepen your current ones, remember that your learning doesn't stop here. Let what you've gained in this program be a starting point for a lifetime of asking deeper questions, cultivating discernment, and seeking the kind of wisdom that serves others and honors God. Congratulations again. You have our admiration, our prayers, and our hope that you will continue to be thoughtful, courageous, and rooted leaders in the days ahead.
The first one is Miss Peggy Yip. Ms. Irene Lee. Thank you, Dr. Leung. Peggy, would you mind to be the representative to say a few words?
Good evening, distinguished faculties and guests, family, friends, and our fellow graduates. I want to start by thanking those who guided me on this journey. Winnie Fong especially, my encourager. Thank you for introducing and pushing me to join this program. To our professors, Dr. Leung, Dr. Sherman, Dr. Bill Zhang, Dr. Karen Chan, and the professors at the Calvin University, Howard, Patrick, Joyce, Sally, thank you for your wisdom that shapes us. To our classmates, Irene, Anna and Sam, Cindy and Vicky, you are my Uber buddy on those nights rides back to TKO. I'm forever grateful for your companionship and support. We grew together, and I cannot thank you enough. I want to make a change. These 6 simple words are my mission and vision statement. They carry hope, responsibility, and faith in the possibilities of having a better future. Yet, as I stand here today, I realize that before we can make a change in the world, we must first allow change happen with us. In reflecting on this journey, I am reminded of the words from Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. This scripture has been a beacon of light for me throughout this program, reminding me that God's plan often begins with personal growth. 8 years ago, I became a teacher with the dream of changing how we learn and experience art. It was during my time in art school that I was inspired to pursue this calling. But as I began my teaching journey, I find myself frustrated. Frustrated because I didn't always understand how and why decisions were made. Decisions that sometimes seemed to conflict with what I believed was best for students. So about 4 or 5 years ago, Winnie told me about this program. She believed it can answer my questions and give me the tools to make the change that I long for. At first, I wasn't interested. I had just finished my PGDE and I was tired of studying. More than that, I was scared of writing more papers. But Winnie, with her persistence, convinced me otherwise, just as she successfully persuaded me to join marathons in the States and in Hong Kong. So I signed up for the Masters in Educational Leadership. I enrolled in this program not to become a school principal or to hold a title, but to understand how decisions are made, why they are made, and how I could contribute to better ones. I signed up for this program as if I was joining an anger management course. But this program becomes so much more than that. Each course opened my eyes like a child discovering new wonders. And I couldn't wait to share what I learned with my colleagues in school. And fortunately, they were not annoyed by me. So yet, the journey wasn't easy. I was a visual thinker. I'm an illustrator. So I'm not a writer. Writing paper felt like climbing up a mountain. I would stare at the screen for days, unable to type a single page. Paralyzed by my own perfectionism, I thought if it wasn't perfect, I was failing. Sound familiar? it's the same pressure our students are facing. But thanks to Al, Irene, and Mickey, who supported me through the late submissions and moments of panic during the last year's summer semester, I learned a profound lesson. We are not perfect, and neither are our students. Embracing vulnerability, as in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 said, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." God reminds us that we don't have to be perfect, and our students don't have to be perfect either. Understanding this have made me a better teacher and a better leader. It helped me to empathize with the struggles of others and taught me the importance of vulnerability. This program didn't just teach me about leadership, it changed me. I am no longer the frustrated teacher I was. So if you want an anger and management course, join this one. So leadership isn't about proving strength. It's about humanity, serving others, and trusting in God's plan. My classmates, especially Irene, who graduates today with me, show me that we overcome obstacles together, leaning on each other as Christ calls us to bear one another's burdens. As educators, we face a world changing faster than we can keep up. When I started this program, generative AI was just emerging. Now AI is everywhere, from ChatGPT to tools for writing, painting, and coding. Even primary school students are using AI for homework. This raises questions. If teachers can use AI to prepare lessons, why can't students use it to learn? Grammarly once flagged one of my writing as 95% AI written, which is not. I wrote it by myself. I realized that I have unknowingly learned to and adopt an AI polished writing style. The world is evolving, and we must evolve with it, not by resisting AI, but by guiding its use with wisdom and integrity. As Christian educators, we are called to lead with discernment, ensuring technology serves learning, not shortcuts. Proverbs chapter 2, verses 6 reminds us, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding." Our role is to model this wisdom, guiding students and colleagues to navigate change with faith and purpose. I came to this program wanting to change the world. Instead, God changed me. Through this journey, I've learned that making a change starts with us, embracing our weaknesses, serving humbly, and leading with love. As we graduate, let's commit to being a servant leaders, trusting God's grace to guide us. Together with faith and courage, we can make a change. Thank you and congratulations to our fellow graduates.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Peggy. It's really full of joy and tears. Besides Master of Education, we have another master program. That's Master of Arts in Contemporary Leadership. This program is in Chinese, so I better change my language channel to Cantonese. 係啦，咁我哋現在咧就要頒發呢個嘅時代領袖碩士課程嘅證書。咁呢個課程咧就係幫助同學啦，佢點樣去進入歷史啦、面對現在啦，同埋洞悉未來嘅。而家我哋有請阿梁博士出嚟，我哋去頒授證書。我有請我哋畢業同學 Eric 鄭志強同學。唔該，梁博士。麻煩我哋同學Eric 同你分享幾句。
各位尊敬嘅老師、同學們、朋友們，大家好。今日咧，我喺呢度咧就懷着感恩嘅心情，同大家咧一齊咧去見證咧我哋時代領導課程裏邊咧嘅學習同埋成長。喺呢個社會運動以嚟咧，我都經常問一個問題，就係香港嘅教會咧點樣面對呢個政治嘅變化咧？咁我就對政治神學咧就產生一個好濃厚嘅興趣，去周圍揾啲課程，亦都驅使我咧嚟到恩光書院咧去進修學習。呢段旅程裏邊咧，唔單止係豐富我哋嘅知識，更加咧係塑造咗我哋嘅世界觀，同埋咧係價值觀。首先咧，我想係分享咧呢個課程咧係點樣令到我哋係重新認識世界嘅本質。世界觀係我哋做事嘅假設啦、判斷啦、衡量優先嘅價值，引導我哋咧嘅決策嘅經驗，以幫助我哋建構咧呢個世界嘅框架。呢個喺個課程裏邊咧係好重視嘅。喺課程裏邊咧，艾 Sir 咧同埋我哋老師咧，經常帶領我哋討論咧唔同神學家嘅世界觀，同埋咧分析當代咧教會點樣面對呢個世界嘅局勢，亦都透過討論咧，同埋每周嘅閱讀係每周起碼2篇，同埋要交功，每篇要交100字嘅感想。Senator 咗有3條問題嘅，而家仲記得邊個 point 係最 impact 嘅咁樣逐漸咧就幫我哋咧即係建構咗，即係我哋自己點樣去洞察呢個世界，認識到咧呢個基督嘅信仰、聖經嘅知識同埋教會咧嘅教導，為我哋提供咧一個基督徒應有嘅行動啦、行動框架同埋思考嘅指導方針。接着咧，我想講呢個課程咧係進一步幫助咗我哋嗰個信仰同埋將呢個文化嘅結合，讓我哋咧睇到文化嘅深層嘅結構。對呢個基督教個信仰喺中國文化裏邊同埋西方嘅文化裏邊嗰個互動同埋比較，從中國嘅儒釋道思想到西方嘅文藝復興同埋啟蒙運動，我哋咧都係學習到如何整合咧我哋呢個信仰同埋呢個文化同埋之間嘅相互作用，並且咧進一步咧鞏固咗我哋咧嗰個使命同埋承擔。喺個文化裏邊咧，我哋係點樣去同呢個文化共用？進一步咧係使到我哋咧係有呢個使命感、認知同埋推動咧呢個社會嘅和平同埋繁榮。喺呢個不斷變化嘅世界裏邊咧，我哋不僅係文化嘅參與者，更加係信仰嘅見證者，同埋咧成為呢個時代嘅領導。我最有興趣嘅科目咧，就係亞洲嘅社會脈絡與亞非拉文化，因為當中咧，艾 Sir 帶我哋遊歷呢個世界，透過咧一啲嘅佢嘅分享，佢以前嘅經驗，透過一啲嘅videos 咧，我哋好似每一堂咧都去到世界唔同嘅地方，去睇個地方裏邊咧嗰個嘅地方嘅我哋叫 capital。唔係首都啊，係嗰個地方嘅智慧資產。通過比較亞非拉嘅領導嘅素質咧，得以洞察咧嗰個未來嘅趨勢。喺每一個地方裏邊咧，都有佢自己文化嘅背景，有個context 嘅。咁喺當中咧，我哋亦都喺呢個 context 裏邊咧，係去大家討論究竟喺嗰個 context 裏邊嘅領導個素質係點樣。喺亞洲國家崛起，同埋喺呢個文化上面、政治上邊咧，慢慢喺個世界裏邊咧係凸顯出咧呢個發展嘅時候咧，同埋喺全球化嘅背景底下咧嘅發展，令到我哋咧係清晰更加理解咧亞洲未來嘅處境同埋文化，再進一步咧去塑造我哋咧係如何去規劃我哋個未來，同埋我哋自己本身 喺個文化裏邊咧係點樣去同佢再一次共用，作為一個時代領導。最後咧呢個課程咧係令到我哋咧深刻體驗到咧信仰同埋知識結合嘅重要性。其實一睇呢個問題嘅時候咧，我都覺得係一個偽命題。其實信仰係一個同知識結合，但係太 Sir 嘅指導底下咧，其實信仰咧同埋知識咧就應該係即係信仰係同埋呢個知識係提供一個道德嘅方向。即係頭先嗰個 ChatGPT 都係唔係淨係一個知識嘅當中咧，係我哋信仰係要同呢個知識結合嘅時候咧，係一個道德嘅取向好重要。呢個知識咧係呢個信仰帶嚟更深嘅理解同埋作為研究者嘅我咧，我不僅咧係將追求知識，更加兼顧咧係深入理解基督教價值嘅責任，將呢啲價值咧用於喺呢個研究同埋實踐裏邊。呢種嘅結合咧係幫助我喺理性同埋靈性之間咧係找到平衡，實現咧學術同埋生命嘅整合。面對未來咧，我更加清楚咧呢個科技係會為我哋帶來機遇，也伴隨着挑戰。唯有以靈性豐富嘅世界觀，才能平衡我哋咧呢兩者之間可以找出一個方向，同埋成為呢個時代嘅光同埋鹽。今日嘅畢業咧，唔係我自己學習嘅終點。其實我都想問阿太 Sir， 問佢點樣可以推薦我讀神學，又係一個新嘅起點。我哋咧將來咧係帶着呢個課程所學嘅智慧同埋信仰，繼續咧喺自己嘅崗位上邊咧係活出基督嘅愛，推動社會嘅公義同埋和平。願我哋每一位都能夠成為咧見證基督嘅器皿，為世界帶來改變同埋希望。感謝咁多位老師嘅教導、同學嘅支持以及神嘅帶領，願主繼續祝福每一位。謝謝大家。
多謝 Eric， 唔該晒。唔該晒 Eric。咁我哋除咗有碩士課程之外咧，我哋都有證書課程嘅，就係一個未來與創造證書課程嘅。咁呢個課程咧就係幫助同學啦，即係明白自己嘅召命啦、守望時代啦、共創未來嘅。咁我哋再次有請梁博士出嚟為我哋頒授證書。首先第一位同學係鄧建良。歐兆晶同學。曾志堅同學。林海蒂同學。仲有我哋嘅同工陳秀彩同學。好，唔該晒梁博士。而家我哋麻煩有請阿建亮同學作為個代表分享幾句。
其實咧，當阿 Howard 係邀請我咧，作為今次呢個未來與創造證書課程其中一位同學作為代表咧，我唔知點解去揀我，因為課堂上咧，我都係有少撳制自己咧，同呢啲同學嚟嘅分享嘅，因為我係好多講說話，好講好多嘢，但係其實當每一次上堂，無論太 Sir 啊，其他嘅講師咧，其實我係想聆聽佢哋嘅睇法，去思考更加多。跟住喺我哋小組討論裏邊咧，能夠去即係學習得更多。我哋用咗2年時間咧去讀呢個課程啦。我哋一共有8科，咁啊分別係基督徒世界觀啦、身份與召命、未來領袖素養、品格價值、未來趨勢、未來科技、 未來家庭、未來工作，其實好多元啦，同埋好多嘢去學習，有唔同嘅學者啦。今日啲老師都喺我哋當中一齊分享呢個題目，佢哋嘅看法，俾我哋好多嘅指引。咁其實每一次咧都係得6堂，每堂咧就用 Zoom 形式啦，得2小時嘅啫。我哋呢個證書課程咧，只需要咧出席80%以上咧，就出問題啦，即係可能係5堂咗緊搞掂啦。即係可能1堂，因為我哋都係在職人士啦，咁我哋夜晚，我哋7點半、9點半要準時開始㗎啦咁咁所以喺當中咧就覺得問題，但係可貴嘅地方咧，大家好清楚知道啦，唔使做功課，唔使做功課。但係喺當中咧，各個講師咧俾好多資料同埋參考書目俾我哋，在我哋日後裏邊都可以繼續去思考，繼續去進心嘅。咁咧，我只係少少分享翻我開初點解去讀呢個電子課程，同埋其中2科一啲少少嘅感想同埋思考，同大家分享一下。我好記得咧喺2023年1月6日咧，在一個證書課程嘅申請表上咧，我前晚去數過，佢用210字啊，超出咗10個字嘅。當時話200字去回答嘅，就係請分享你為什麼報讀這個課程。咁我當時分享嗰210個字咧就係咁嘅，都同大家分享下。香港已大變遷，喺2023年嗰時候已經係嘅。不少人咧諗到咧香港唔係自己屋企，所以遠離呢個家。然而佢哋有大可能咧係冇一個紮實嘅生命咧去面對呢個原是佢哋嘅家。我仍然是香港係我家，我不離開香港，就要面對呢啲嘅大嘅變遷，我需要更多學習。我作為一位基督徒小說家咧，有許多必須學習及創作之外咧，我不能忽視呢個課程咧。當中我當時阿太 Sir 介紹咧，呢個課程嘅重要性啦、獨特性啦，同埋課程嘅設計及對象，好精心嘅。即係我哋當初去睇嘅時候，咁多嘢嘅點解？咁我哋就去思考，去報讀呢個課程。所以我相信呢個課程使我哋學習唔同嘅向度同層次，如果使到我筆下嘅小說咧會更加充實同完整。所以當時咧我就報讀呢個課程。咁啊而家咧我分享呢8科中咧最深有2科咧，就係分別身份與召命同埋品格價值。咁呢2個有個呢個領會。咁喺身份與召命當中咧，其中一課咧就指出夾縫中嘅召命。個講師仲喺度。佢當時諗下葉浩應該係呢個睇清楚先。引葉漢豪先生一段文字咧好深，我覺得我去重閱翻去當時嘅碌線嘅時候咧，俾我好大嘅再一個提醒。夾縫嘅意思係咩咧？咁我們現實中仍有實踐空間，於是這空間充滿了張力。這夾縫嘅空間是在改變世界嘅豪情與完全無力感之間，讓我們去實踐使命一個狹小空間。我哋身處嘅空間的確係咁樣，我哋去實踐使命亦都係一個小小空間，因為我哋都係同學有來到唔同嘅，係做教師啦，做咖啡師啊，做唔同，我係公務員嚟嘅。我哋都係好少嘅位置喺我哋自己嘅工作或者環境裏邊。而我相信呢個小空間能夠成就我們係從神而來嘅召命，只要我哋喺從2種張力呢啲應付得來，並且在呢個世界改變世界豪情與完全無力這2個極端之下咧，唔好沉淪下去。因為好多時我哋都會想改變個世界，但係我哋都睇清楚，原來我哋係冇能力一下子去改變個世界。但係如果我哋墮入另一個深淵，就係我完全無力啦，我哋唔去做任何事情嘅時候咧，我哋就會真係沉淪落去喺當中咧，做到一啲極端唔實際嘅事情。所以喺呢個過程裏邊，我多謝講師俾我哋呢個啟發，喺夾縫中有個空間去實踐我哋嘅唔同使命。我當中都有分享我少少係小說家咁講我一啲創作啊，我啲書籍咁。但係每個同學都唔同， 所以今日我哋都繼續去唔同嘅使命裏邊，尤其是我而家啱啱係公務員60歲退休，個樣好似都即係老老地啊，但係都準備開始同我太太咧一齊咧去未來生活咧寫我仲有10幾本書未出嚟，有幾本過50萬字嘅小説咁。咁咧喺另一個課程裏邊咧，品格價值咧有6個課堂裏邊咧，講師咧講咗幾樣嘢咧係好重要。佢揀咗喺品格裏邊有幾個好重要嘅內容。我哋認識到咧堅毅、誠信、召命、熱忱、創造力同埋想像力及愛心與服務。咁但係喺第一堂裏邊咧，佢指出個堅毅嘅意思咧好有意思，所以我而家都同大家分享下。原來係指出堅毅原來嘅意思係跳回來，佢跟以下嘅觀念好有關係。抵禦震盪，回到正軌，保持實力，永不放棄。咁我喺當中會思考啦，我哋現今幾多人咧能夠抵禦各種嘅震盪咧？喺我哋人生裏邊，的確喺唔同嘅階段裏邊，我有好多震盪。好多時喺震盪令到好唔開心啦，我哋低沉啦，我哋會放棄啦。最終啲仍然要生活㗎，你除非你即係完全放棄自己嘅生活啦。所以喺當中，我哋有冇抵禦震盪咧？跟住震盪之後，我哋可唔可以回向正常嘅軌道咧？其實嗰陣時我哋都會覺得咧，我哋喺震盪之後咧，我哋本來走緊呢邊嘅，喺震盪之後低沉，我哋沉淪好咩好啦？我哋走翻去生活嘅時候咧，我哋走咗呢邊，我哋唔會走翻我哋之前所認為啱嘅方向啊，嗰個正常嘅軌道。另一方面，我哋其中能夠保持我哋實力咧，因為我哋喺震盪裏邊，我哋已經係好唔開心。我哋對於好多嘢都唔知點做嘅時候，連裏邊我哋生命裏邊嘅好多嘢都內耗咗，我哋失去咗。我哋今日冇乜實力嘅時候咧，我哋從前想走呢條道路嘅時候，而家我哋走去另一條可能係錯誤，可能係回頭，可能唔知去邊度嘅道路。仲有一樣嘢，現今係好難做到嘅。雖然我哋上呢8個課程咧，我仲有一啲同學喺度，可能爭1、2課啫。但係下次就到我哋去恭賀佢哋。但係呢度咧都係有少少嘅秘訣，就係永不放棄。雖然我哋上6堂啫㗎，我哋要上5堂裏邊，我哋先達到嗰個出席要求。咁啊，無論即係點都好，咁喺第3、4堂我啲之後都翻嗰2堂㗎嘛，咁先夠㗎嘛。咁啊，去完成咁，去出席嗰度。所以我哋做唔做到永不放棄咧？呢個課程裏邊，呢啲嘅品格嘅價值，我哋都係學習喺呢方面做得更加好，唔好放棄，繼續去努力。如果我哋能夠咁樣做嘅時候咧，我哋真係先有堅毅啦。呢個堅毅唔係我哋去做到乜嘢，而係我哋生命裏邊可以抵禦咗啲震盪啦。我哋回到我哋正軌啦，保持實力啦，同埋永不放棄。其實呢個即係少少嘅其中一個分享。其實好多嘅課程，無論阿太 Sir 啊，無論其他講師對我哋嘅分享嘅時候咧，其實都俾我哋好多嘅思考啊。好似我太太對於 AI 咧，頭先就好多思考嘅，咁點咧？咁所以其實我哋都仲有好多嘢去學習。但係今次嘅小個課程，即係我哋喺未來與創造呢個正式課程裏邊咧，一個我嘅少少嘅分享咯。所以我最後咧，無論相信我哋過去或者現在讀咗呢個課程嘅同學，必能夠咧俾佢哋喺基督徒信仰上咧更上一層樓。我祝願未畢業嘅同學繼續努力，可能爭1、2課啫嚇，完成所有課程，日後在自己嘅侍奉裏邊同埋消費中呼召之中咧做得更好，以致我哋喺呢個正如呢個課程所帶俾我哋一個 insight，喺未來裏邊喺呢啲嘅科目裏邊，我哋創造咗乜嘢出嚟咧？阿太 Sir 呢個課程裏邊話俾佢聽，要守望我哋嘅時代喺未來裏邊，即係共創嗰未來，我哋從中參與。頭先無論我哋啲碩士啊，或者呢個課程等等咧，其實佢哋都喺唔同嘅層次裏邊係雖然高我哋好多，但係佢哋都係懷着好多唔同嘅感受啊，去努力去學習，然之後繼續喺生命裏邊做得更好。咁以上咧係我少少嘅分享，希望只係代表我哋呢4位同學其中5位同學裏邊其中一小部分，只係 我嘅個人感想，但係希望都鼓勵到大家，鼓勵到我哋啲同學會畢業為在座各位嘅朋友，多謝大家。
多謝建良同學，多謝建良同學。我哋差唔多到畢業禮嘅尾聲，但係咧我哋有請陳燕薇博士 Dr. Kara Chan 為我哋有個祈禱先。Let's have a prayer。
我哋一齊同心禱告。因為上帝，我哋真係感謝你，感謝你咧，今晚招聚我哋一班人嚟到咧，係去慶祝恩光書院今屆有9位嘅畢業同學，佢哋過往嘅努力，今日所得嘅成果。感謝你咧，俾佢哋咧喺咁繁忙嘅生活裏邊，可以咧係不斷嘅學習同埋去裝備自己。主啊，我祈求你俾佢哋喺書院裏邊所學到嘅，唔單止係頭腦上嘅知識，更加咧係對三一真神，對於呢個世代，對於國家社會，對於人生，對於佢哋自己都有更加深入嘅認識，同埋屬靈個洞見。主啊，我祈求你俾佢哋係可以用你嘅眼光嚟到去睇呢個世界，喺多元嘅文化裏邊，佢哋咧係可以接納、包容一啲同自己唔同嘅人，但係又唔會失去咗真理嘅立場。主啊，我求你引導佢哋，賜俾佢哋智慧、能力同埋勇氣，帶住你自己嘅召命，喺家庭、喺教會、喺社會裏邊咧，為你做美好嘅見證，去關顧周邊嘅人身心靈嘅需要，將有盼望嘅福音帶到嗰啲絕望、迷失嘅人當中，將你自己嘅和平帶入到去係有紛爭嘅處境裏邊，將你自己嘅公義係帶入到有剝削、有逼迫嘅地方。就算係好微小嘅一啲嘅微不足道嘅行動，但係都可以係去宣揚嗰位係召我哋入奇妙光明者嘅美德。主啊，我求你係賜福俾我哋每一位嘅畢業同學同埋佢哋嘅屋企人，以至佢哋可以成為香港教會、香港社會嘅祝福，成為你自己合用嘅器皿，同埋係忠心嘅僕人。我哋齊心禱告，係奉靠耶穌基督得勝嘅名字，阿門。
多謝陳博士。咁我哋即係再次多謝大家嘅來臨啦。咁我哋咧就會有嗰個影相嘅安排嘅。咁呢個就係我哋影相安排，但係大家就手啱冇錯坐一坐先。我哋要敲，係我哋搬一搬出去。